So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 best bank accounts right now for young Aussies. As somebody who is Gen Z, I absolutely love the digital approach to banking, smart features, and unbeatable value. So in this video, we're going to be focusing on accounts that offer these types of features because we don't want to be like the other Aussies that are out there paying hundreds of millions of dollars in fees. Let's jump into it. First up, we have the Macquarie transaction account. I'd say this is a great bank account overall. I've been using these guys for about 5 years or so. The account opening process is completely digital. It's very easy to use and very easy to open. Some quick stats about this bank. Number 1, there's no silly fees like monthly account keeping fees, and there's no conditions for this either. I know some banks are out there that charge around $1,000 per month deposits required to unlock the no account keeping fees, but with these guys, there are no conditions on monthly fees, and there's also no international transaction fees. So when you're spending online to buy something that is overseas that you're paying in American dollars, let's say, some banks will charge you a 3% overseas transaction fee, but with Macquarie, there is no such fees. Now, interestingly enough, these international transaction fees can also still apply if you're buying something that seemingly is on an Australian website. It has .com.au, but the merchant is located outside of Australia, and for some banks like NAB, this counts as an international transaction fee, and I've been charged a fee in the past too. So just be careful of this. This fee can apply even if it looks like you're buying on an Aussie website, something that has .com.au. One of the best features of Macquarie is that there are no ATM fees in Australia, which is really good. I personally tested this a few times. I was at Sydney Airport going to the US about a year or 2 ago, and I took out some money from the ATM, and this was instantly refunded by Macquarie, no questions asked. It showed up on my bank account. I got a notification in the app as well. I'm very grateful for using Macquarie. So the benefits are definitely there. The international transaction fees are great for making those purchases because the Aussie dollar right now is at record lows. We're already getting screwed over big time on international purchases, so why pay more when you don't have to? It's got Apple and Google Pay included as well. Now, Macquarie doesn't really have any branches in Australia that you can access, but chances are, if you're watching this video, you're like me and you can't remember the last time you accessed a branch. Jumping into some cool features of the app, you can see your debit card inside the actual app as well. So if you're making purchases online and your wallet is in the other room, you can still make the purchase. You can see your entire card detail as well as the expiry date, the CVC, and you can make the transaction. It just makes things a lot easier, and it does add to the convenience. Each transaction that you make in the app, whether it's a debit or a credit, your app allows you to categorize it with tags. You can mark it. So if it's tax related, you can add a receipt as well. Maybe it's for work, let's say, and you can add a receipt, and it can all be very organized all inside the app, and you can keep a good record of it. If you're somebody who likes to keep super organized, this is a very handy feature that I haven't really seen much banks offer. Next up, you have the Insights tab, which shows you your overall net wealth, but here you can also create smart budgets. It shows your cash flow for the previous 6 months as well as a forecast for the next 6 months for planning and things like that. Next up, we have the Macquarie Marketplace. This is a really good feature that allows you to buy e-gift cards for a discount, especially if you're planning to make a big purchase. You can save up to 10% on certain retailers, and it's a really handy feature for just keeping your gift cards and storing them and just saving on everyday value. Next up is security. It is quite top-notch. Macquarie has their own authentication app that just makes things a lot safer. They have offline codes as well in case your phone can't access the internet. And overall, I'd say Macquarie is a pretty decent bank to go with, especially for your everyday banking. The app is really good, the features are good, and you can use it for your everyday transactions without any sort of hassle, without any fees. I think they've done a really good job here in attracting customers. It's just that a lot of customers go towards big 4 banks. Next up, we have the HSBC Everyday Global Account. Now, I'm not kidding when I say that there are not many banks like this in Australia, especially in terms of the features that HSBC offers. It's quite unique, but before we jump into it, let's jump into some quick stats about this bank account. So firstly, of course, you've got no monthly account fees, there's no conditions for this, and there's no international transaction fees as well, and there's no fees for HSBC ATMs. However, it's not like Macquarie where you can use any ATM in Australia and your fees will be refunded. With HSBC, if you do one of those random ATMs that is a private ATM, there will be a fee charged, and HSBC will not refund this fee, so be careful. If you're looking to avoid ATM fees, I would just recommend Macquarie to use because it's so much more easier. There's no conditions for it either. Jumping into some cool features, there are really only 2 main features with this bank account. Firstly, as Gen Z and millennials, we love to travel and we love to experience new things. So this account allows you to hold up to 10 different currencies into your account. All the major ones are here. So when you guys are traveling, you can pay in the local currency and exchange your currency within the actual app itself, so you know exactly what the exchange rate is and what you're paying, and it makes the process a lot easier. Otherwise, you can use your card normally and tap and go overseas and just hope that you get a good rate, and when you do that, you don't really have much control over what the conversion rate is, but with this method, you know exactly what the rate is, it's locked in, and you can make sure that hopefully it is a decent rate. Currency transaction spreads are one of the hidden fees, you could say, when it comes to paying for things in multiple currencies, so this can help you guys avoid it. Cool feature number 2 is cashback. Yes, cashback in a debit card. This is absolutely unique, and this is one of the reasons why I opened up the account in the first place with HSBC like 4 years ago. So how it works is that HSBC will give you 2% cashback on transactions under $100 as long as you use PayWave or Tap and Go, and this also works with Google Pay and Apple Pay as well. The max cashback you can earn in a month is $50, and the conditions for this cashback is that you do need to deposit $2,000 every single month into the account. And the good thing is that this doesn't have to be in one hit, it can be in multiple hits as well. Multiple transactions is completely fine. As long as the overall balance and overall credits in the account add up to $2,000, you will unlock this cashback ability. Now, I will say I've also had instances in the past where I have deposited $2,000 into the account, and then say 2 or 3 days later, I've taken the money out and it seems that the cashback is still valid for the next month. So I don't know if this is a glitch or whatnot. I've also seen some people in forums and things like that, especially on Reddit as well, they've said that they've done that and the cashback has stayed. So it seems like for now it is working, but it may get patched in the future. Fingers crossed. But for now, if you are going to do that, do check if it works. Don't take my word for it. In the app, you can check if you are receiving cashback or not. So try it out for yourself. And if it works, happy cashback, I guess. So this is a very unique selling point of this card. 2% is absolutely huge. You would only really see cashback and rewards like this with credit cards, but having it in a debit card is just absolutely amazing. Now, I will also say that you shouldn't go around spending too much just to get the cash back. You got to be careful to control the spending side of things, because at the end of the day, you're still spending money, and yes, you're getting something in return for it, but it's still money out from your pocket at the end of the day. It is pretty cool that the cashback helps you to kind of negate some of the costs when it comes to paying for things in restaurants or retailers where they'll pass on the surcharge to you, like 1.8%, 2.8%. It helps to kind of get rid of that, which is great, but you got to be careful not to spend too much and keep everything in control. I personally earned cashback over the years of $400, which is pretty insane. They added this feature recently where you can check your lifetime earnings, so great to see that, but at the end of the day, you got to be careful with your spending. Now, let's talk about the main drawback here, which is the app. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. This is probably one of the worst mobile banking apps I have ever used in my entire life. I am not exaggerating when I say this. This is not a good app at all. It is really not up to standard in 2025. It definitely does not have the same functionality that Macquarie has, nowhere near that. You've got basic functionality in the app, like checking your account balances, transferring money, and that's about it. I'm not even kidding, check this out. So this is a screenshot from the actual app itself, and there are literally only 3 tabs at the bottom: accounts, move money, and support. They have a separate tab just to move money, just to make up space. And this is just absolutely ridiculous. In 2025, this is very poor. And then in the actual main screen of the app, in the accounts tab, you've got your accounts at the top, but then you've got lots of cross-selling and upselling, like open a share trading account, or open a credit card, apply for a home loan, and things like that. So it's very poor. They could have filled that screen up with, move money as well if they wanted to, but it's just not really good for 2025. There's no functionality like money tracking or budgeting or anything like that. I feel like HSBC execs just sat around in a table and basically discussed about what is the least they can do and get away with, and they said, let's do that. So in summary, I can only really see this bank account being beneficial for 2 scenarios: the travel benefits and the cashback, nothing else. If you're looking for this card for everyday banking or things like that, don't bother with it. Last up, we have UpBank, and this is a fully digital neobank. And once you check out their website, you'll see how lit and how fire and how hip and cool these guys actually are. So some benefits of this, same as Macquarie, you've got no monthly account fees or international transaction fees, and you can also get your digital card in the app as well. Now, the main selling point of this bank is that it is made for young Aussies, and the features inside of it are very good, especially for people that are just getting started out in their money journey and they don't really have any sort of savings goals and they're not really good with money and things like that. So let's jump into some of the cool features. Starting off with the roundup features. When you spend money, it rounds it up and puts it into your savings account, or savers is what they call it. You can have up to 50 savers, and you can personalize it as well by adding in emojis and things like that for different types of goals that you might want to have, like buying a car, holidays, and and things like that. Pay splitting is pretty interesting. So once you get paid, the app will automatically split your pay into different savers. It just removes the admin when it comes to transferring money manually, and it keeps everything extremely organized. Say you're getting paid $1,000 every fortnight, and you're trying to save up $200 to buy a car, you're trying to save up $200 to go on a holiday, $500 for your normal everyday spending, and then the rest is for your recreation expenses. It'll automatically split this out into different savers, and you can track your spending as well and track your savings. Tracking your insights with UpBank is pretty good, especially better than Macquarie. You can really see what is happening. It gives you an accurate figure of what money is safe to spend, accounting for any recurring bills in the future as well. It's got similar functionality like the Beam app that was around and still around, where you can split money with your mates very easily. It has this feature as well where you can request to split purchases with mates, request payments, and it's all very easy. They also have a partnership with Wise, which makes your overseas transaction fees quite low, and if you're transferring money overseas, it makes the process quite competitive in terms of the costs involved. I've got to say, they've really tried to gamify banking by making these cool features and putting fun names to it and making it all colorful, and really trying to encourage people to save, track their spending, and really put people in control as to what they want to do. And these features, I wouldn't say they are completely unique, but they put a unique spin on it by making it fun and allowing people that are not really good with money to get involved and really take control of their finances. So I'd say it is very good for people that are just starting out. So if you're somebody that is very lost and the concept of money scares you and you're not too sure where to start or where to go, this bank might be for you.